Welcome back to this explainer. Today, we're diving straight into a seriously fascinating piece of source material. We are looking at the TradesOS recruitment poster from the CoHandyOS movement. In an age where everyone just seems totally obsessed with AI and software, this document completely flips the script. It actually frames traditional physical labor as high-stakes, futuristic technology. So let's decode exactly how this movement is trying to recruit and organize a brand new class of operators. Right off the bat, let's look at their ceremonial tagline. Build the future, build the infrastructure, build the movement. You can tell instantly that this is not your standard union drive, and it's definitely not a boring job posting. They are taking physical labor and treating it as a visionary act. The repetition of that word build really emphasizes action, right? It moves rapidly from the abstract concept of the future directly into the tangible reality of infrastructure, and ultimately lands on a massive collective movement. It sets a stage that feels immense and deeply purposeful.
So here is our roadmap for today's explainer. 1. The call for infrastructure. 2. The roles we honor. 3. The TradesOS mission. 4. Era of operator culture. And 5. The oath and path.
All right, jumping right into part 1, the call for infrastructure.
The poster draws a super clear line in the sand here, declaring that the world is entering a new era based on a very specific redefinition of technology. Think about the old view, the idea that AI is just software, just lines of code floating somewhere up in the cloud. Well, the TradesOS view completely rejects that. They argue that AI is actually massive physical infrastructure, and because it's physical, it desperately needs operators. The document states it needs human stewards and tradespeople. It's a profound shift in perspective, isn't it? It suggests that our entire digital future simply cannot exist without human hands doing highly disciplined physical work to maintain its foundation.
Moving on to section 2, the roles we honor.
So who actually are these futuristic stewards? What's really fascinating here is that they aren't inventing crazy sci-fi jobs. Instead, they're elevating existing ones with immense gravity. Just look at the phrasing, straight from the text. Electricians aren't just wiring houses anymore. They are powering the grid of tomorrow. Plumbers are stabilizing systems that keep life flowing. Carpenters are shaping the physical backbone of communities. They even include a whole category for youth operators, focusing on creating the next generation of disciplined builders. It brilliantly elevates everyday jobs into these essential, high-discipline roles designed to literally run and sustain modern civilization.
Which brings us to section 3, the TradesOS mission.
This is where the whole objective gets completely reframed. The poster clearly defines the TradesOS mission as activating a new class of operators. And the text is explicit. It tells the recruit, you are not just fixing things. Instead, you are building the operating system of your community. That's huge. They're taking a term usually reserved for software, an operating system, and applying it directly to the physical, social, and infrastructural layer of a local neighborhood. It frames a leaky pipe or a broken frame not as a simple repair, but as a literal bug in your neighborhood's software that an operator has to patch.
To actually pull this mission off, recruits are categorized into specific operational classes that scale up in scope. It starts super intimately with household stewards, then moves up through facility technicians and youth apprentices. From there, it broadens out to community trades leads and ultimately reaches an international scale with diaspora infrastructure builders. This reveals a highly structured vision. Every single level of our physical environment, from your living room all the way to a sprawling global diaspora, has a dedicated class of operator assigned to keep the whole thing running.
Let's hit section 4, era of operator culture.
Now zoom out for a second, because this local community mission is positioned against the backdrop of macro-level global demand. The text notes that global leaders are right now calling for trades talent for truly massive, high-stakes projects. I mean, the document lists the construction of AI supercomputer clusters, planetary infrastructure, and, get this, off-Earth data centers. It also highlights the need for next-generation facilities and high-discipline environments. The source material is directly connecting the recruit reading this poster to the bleeding edge of global and even aerospace technological expansion.
But here's the twist. While the rest of the world looks to the stars to build the future of AI, this movement grounds itself with a very specific claim. It states that CoHandyOS is building the definitive, Earth-side version of this massive infrastructure push. They are telling recruits that securing, building, and operating the physical foundation right here on the ground is just as vital as building in space. It gives this immense global weight and importance to local, earthbound physical labor.
Finally, we reach section 5, the oath and path.
At the deeply ceremonial core of the document, we uncover how a recruit actually commits to this whole thing. The poster features a formal oath. We build with discipline, we repair with pride, we protect our households, we strengthen our communities, we honor the craft. Notice how this binds practical skills with a deep moral code. It's not just about knowing how to use a wrench, right? It's about discipline, pride, and protection. It reinforces that becoming a part of TradesOS means taking on a profound identity and a core set of values centered around stabilizing the physical world.
Once that oath is taken, you don't just wander off. Recruits step onto a highly sequential path. The text lists specific operational modules that a member joins. It starts at Step 1 with Household OS Stewardship, moves up to Facility OS Engineering and Youth OS Apprenticeship, expands into Micro-Enterprise Trades modules, and culminates in Movement OS Infrastructure missions. It's quite literally a ladder of responsibility, moving the operator from managing the systems of a single home to executing missions for the entire movement.
The poster also outlines a fascinating geographical trajectory. It explicitly links local hubs like the Bronx and the Philippines straight to the global diaspora. This is a totally crucial piece of the puzzle because it shows the movement's intended network. It's telling the recruit that fixing a pipe or wiring a grid locally isn't just an isolated job. It is part of a massive, internationally connected effort.
The document wraps up by declaring, if you can build, repair, stabilize, or maintain, you are already part of the future. Now become part of the movement. It's such a brilliant rhetorical device, suggesting that your everyday skills have actually already enlisted you in this futuristic infrastructure push. You just haven't officially activated your role yet. So it leaves us with a really powerful question to think about. In a world completely obsessed with digital systems, are the people who maintain our physical reality the true operators of the future? Thanks so much for watching this explainer, and I'll catch you in the next one.